Feminism is spiritual darkness. The core belief in feminism is that women are naturally superior to men and must displace masculine authority. Of course, they didn't just come out and say this at first. The process has been incremental. But today, even the average Christian and or politically conservative woman will defend feminism as if it were something good that just got out of hand. Feminism was born of spiritual darkness from day one, however, and the intention all along was to completely invert the masculine-feminine dynamic. See, God's design is that the masculine is the natural authority and the feminine the natural follower of that authority. Male rationality leads, feminine emotions follow his rational lead, while providing a nurtured role for a family. The way hell works is to invert God's design in every way possible. If God said up, then hell would create a whole philosophy of why down was the truly enlightened way. It's why pagan religions always involve androgyny, since it inverts the masculine and feminine dynamic. Even the Norse paganism of the Vikings, Odin and Loki, were said to transcend gender roles. And so today we live in an increasingly androgynous society. It's presented to us as men and women are the same, but even people like Camille Paglia notice it's not about equality, but about feminine supremacy. Women good, men bad. And the most destructive aspect of it has been convincing women promiscuity is a form of liberation. This goes well beyond the standard social media argument of body count. A complementary yin and yang relationship is the only kind of relationship that works for romantic coupling. And promiscuity robs a woman of the most valuable aspect of her femininity, which is how she fits into that complementary relationship. A woman submits herself to a man spiritually and emotionally when she has sex with him, even if it's a hookup. She tells herself it's no big deal, but biologically and spiritually, those mechanisms can't just be turned off. It's why the Bible consistently uses female promiscuity to describe spiritual infidelity. The woman cannot submit herself spiritually over and over again to different men and still be able to submit to a husband.
What if I told you that the biggest lie about feminism is that it's about equality? What if the real issue isn't politics at all, but something much deeper and spiritual? Today I want to explain why feminism, as it exists today, represents a spiritual inversion of God's design, and why so many good people defend it without realizing where it leads. From the very beginning, the Bible presents men and women as equal in value, but different in role. Masculinity and femininity are not enemies, they are complementary. God's design places masculine leadership alongside feminine nurture. Not because men are better, but because order requires structure. Rational leadership paired with emotional intelligence creates balance, especially in families and relationships. This isn't oppression, it's cooperation. Evil rarely attacks God's design directly. Instead, it inverts it. Scripture warns us about calling good evil and evil good. If God says up, spiritual darkness says down is more enlightened. That's why many pagan belief systems blur gender roles. Androgyny wasn't freedom, it was confusion, a deliberate reversal of natural order. And today we see the same pattern, an increasingly androgynous culture that insists men and women are the same, while quietly portraying masculinity as dangerous and femininity as morally superior. That's not equality, that's inversion. Modern feminism often isn't about protecting women, it's about displacing masculine authority. Men are framed as the problem, leadership is framed as oppression, and submission, one of the most misunderstood biblical words, is treated as weakness. Even thinkers who aren't religious have noticed this shift. It's no longer equal rights, it's female good, male bad, and many women defend it sincerely, believing it's empowerment without realizing the spiritual cost. One of the most destructive lies sold as freedom is sexual promiscuity. The culture says it's just physical, it means nothing. But the body and soul don't work that way. Sex is bonding biologically, emotionally, and spiritually. The Bible uses sexual infidelity as a metaphor for spiritual infidelity because the connection is real. A woman cannot repeatedly give herself emotionally and spiritually to different men without consequences, no matter how much she tells herself it doesn't matter. What's framed as liberation often becomes fragmentation. This isn't about hating women. It's not about controlling anyone. It's about recognizing that when we reject God's design, we don't become free, we become lost. True strength comes from order. True freedom comes from truth. And true love only thrives when masculine and feminine work together, not against each other. If this message made you think, share your thoughts below. And remember, clarity is not hate, it's love.